a wonderful Wednesday. It is Wednesday, yeah. And what is it? The 24th of July, 2024. There you go. So 7/24/24. Anyway, for all of you in the Bitcoin space, how's that trading going? How's that holding going? How's that selling going? How's that buying going? What is the VEPS telling you? Well, if you watched our live stream, you'd know. The VEPS has very nice looking forecasts on the day. Volatility reads for the daily time frame are looking up. Of course, you got a lot of nice mixed information on lower time frames that were good for scalps on lower time frames. And generally speaking, after a little dip in the morning, it's been going up. Well, I should say a dip at the beginning of the early on in the day on the daily candle. It started to go back up. For now, it's heading in the up direction the last I saw it. But more important than that, frankly, is the all the coin marketing that's happening, which has reached new all-time highs. What do I mean? Well, you've got, both political parties in the United States are suddenly pro-Bitcoin, pro-crypto. Democrats haven't fully announced it publicly yet, but it does appear that with the new candidate that they have running, that is going to be something happening in the near future. There's already been apparently a lot of discussions with people on that team and folks like Mark Cuban, and there's a lot of whispers that they're going to be doing that relatively soon, because why not? It makes sense. And as I've always said, as soon as politicians have interests in the space, they will obviously be pro-crypto. So if you want to get them to be pro-crypto, all you got to do is get them to have interest in the space. And with Trump, it was easy. He already had a bunch of NFTs with his face all over them, so he liked that, because obviously, and his wife sold some NFTs, and all in all, they've made already millions of dollars from the crypto space one way or the other. So obviously they were all over that. It was easy for whoever spoke to him about it to convince him, whether it was those crypto bros in the all-in-one podcast, of which I happen to know one, by the way. Can you guess which one? Or any of those kind of people, right? So it was any of those people, or the former candidate who liked crypto in the Republican space, if you know who he was, right? Vivek or whatever. And on the Democrat side, same thing. You got influencers, people in the space who easily talked to the leading candidate and told her, this is good for your interests and good for America and all that kind of stuff. So it should not be a surprise that we're seeing at the same time there's some Bitcoin conference that's happening this week, where a bunch of these high-profile people, including like the ultimate Bitcoin cheerleader Michael Saylor, is rah-rah-rahing the festival goers or conference attendees, I'm sure, along with other people who will be in attendance. So it should not be a surprise to anyone that there's a lot of heavy Bitcoin marketing going on. But you'll notice that despite the heavy marketing, despite the heavy Bitcoin marketing at the moment, who isn't actually buying? Have you noticed? Who's actually not buying? It's actually regular people who are not buying, because they're still being fudded out of the market, right? They're still being told, no, this market's going to crash, even though everything you watch on crypto YouTube is telling you, no, we're in the middle of a bull run. It's going to go, it's going to go parabolic any moment now. They're all FOMOing you, but the retail buyers, and I don't mean the ones who buy ETFs, I mean regular folks who generally don't have any coins, don't have any stocks, don't have nothing in the market, right? 90% of the population in the US and across most of the world doesn't have anything in any market, right? No assets. The only assets they have is the fiat, maybe the house they own, or a car they drive, or shoes on their feet, food they eat, and furniture in their house. And apart from that, they don't own liquid assets, right? Does that occur to you why? It's because them that have don't want them that don't have to have. Because then it makes them that have relatively have less compared to them that don't have. Right? That's the perception of scarcity mentality. Right? That's how they view the world. No, if everybody has an equal footing, then we know that nobody has an equal footing. Then nobody's better off. Right? That's the scarcity mentality. Rather than thinking if we all have more, we all have more. And yes, I understand some people will mismanage their funds, even if you give them more. Such is life. In some people's cases, it's not even their fault. It might be because the endemic system that they're entrenched in, right? It might be their healthcare system, might be their education system, might be anything, right? Screws them over, right? And it rips off from them their assets at insane rates for no particular good reason. Right? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, well, what if you have a medical condition where even if you have insurance, your insurance doesn't cover that, right? That's happened to me, right? Like, not me personally with my medical condition, but loved ones that I have to take care of, and insurance doesn't cover it, right? What if education? You pay for education and you invest in that, and then you get screwed over because the scholarship money, doesn't pan out for some reason, but you still have the obligation, even though you earned the scholarship, or the loan money, doesn't work properly because the loan gets canceled for some reason beyond your control. These things happen to people, right? But it could be anything. It doesn't have to be just education or healthcare. It could be a million things, a million reasons. It's not always people's fault that they are unable to manage their funds in an ideal way. Okay? It's very easy to say, oh, if you just manage your funds well and do this well, you'll be fine. Yeah, sure. For the 68.2% that fall within one standard deviation. Right? And it's not an 80-20 rule. It's really like a 68.2% rule, if that. Right? For the other third of humanity, it isn't that. Right? There are things beyond their control. There are things that will destroy their well-being, their quality of life, right? And that they can't recover so easily from. So keep that in mind, because it's not always so cut and dry, so black and white as people would like to be, as people would like to think, and as purveyors of these principles like to pretend. So yeah, Bitcoin's great, Bitcoin's wonderful, but if you can't pay for your daily bread, and you can't, whatever it is, find work, you can't anything. Promises of the long-term future are kind of useless when you live in a society, doesn't matter where it is on earth, where you're allowed to fall between the cracks and nobody's going to help you. No government, no organization, no company, no person. These things happen all the damn time. And we as human beings, a lot of people don't get the assistance that they should get for whatever they need. So just bear that in mind. And be compassionate. That's all I can say for that right now. Be caring, because it matters. Alright, that's it for now. Happy trading, man.